Hey, friends. It is Tuesday. So tonight I'm giving you my 2 cents on a leadership topic. So as you're hopping on, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. I've got YouTube, I've got Facebook Live. Decided not to do Instagram tonight just because my iPad was dead. So I took some notes and I'm really excited to go over this because this topic tonight on the 5 levels of leadership is actually something that really changed my business. When I was implementing it, my business was thriving, it was doing amazing. And then, you just kind of forget and you just kind of get into routine and don't take it as seriously. And so I'm really excited to be revisiting this topic as, it's an opportunity for me to reconnect with some of my team, reconnect with new leaders. And then as I bring on new people in my business, then I can make sure that I start at start. So, hey, Tasha, I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late tonight. We had a board meeting that went way over for soccer, but that's just what happens when we get chit chatting and all that. So tonight, I want to talk to you about the 5 levels of leadership. And it's coming from this book right here, How Successful People Lead by John Maxwell. Now, I love these books. Number one, because they're just really little. The pages are small. The words are big. The chapters are super, super short. And it's just like gold nuggets all the way through this. And so I did not create this. However, I'm definitely going to put my spin on things and tell you how I've used it, how I've implemented it, and how it's helped me in my business. Okay, so if you're ready for this, write ready in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and get started. My throat is super dry. So, yes, there's how successful people lead, there's how successful people think, how successful people grow, and how successful people win. So I've read all those books. In fact, those were the books that I reread through the 75 Hard Challenge. And yeah, just really good. Okay, so there are 5 levels of leadership. Okay, and whenever you get into a new job, a new career, you always start at level 1. Okay, so level 1 is called positional. And this is where people follow you because they have to. Okay, so if if you remember those high school days and you get a job at a fast food restaurant, you know, we all had a manager. We all had a boss, somebody who made the schedule, someone who we had to check into, somebody who hired us, somebody who maybe fired us. That is positional leadership, where you follow somebody because you have to. If you don't, you no longer have a job. And this is the lowest level of leadership. And, in network marketing, it depends when you get in. And a lot of times you are a positional leader to obviously anybody who would come in after you, whether you enrolled them or somebody on your upline enrolled them and moved them underneath you. You're a positional leader. People, follow you because they have to. Now, in network marketing, nobody has to do anything. They're in business for themselves, but they're never by themselves. But you technically are their upline if you join first. Okay. So positional leadership is the lowest level of leadership. And whether you're a manager of a store or, a principal or whatever, positional is the lowest level. Okay. And so what you want to do from positional leadership is you want to work your way up into level 2. And level 2 is permission. And this is where you're building relationships with people. This is like your relationship level. And people follow you because they want to. I've had people that I've worked for before that have just told me what to do, and I've just done it because I had to. And then there have been people who told me what to do and I did it because I wanted to. I wanted to support them. I wanted to help the team win because of the relationship that the person had made with me personally. And so you want to make sure on this permission level that you're building relationships. You're getting to know your team. You're like letting them have some buy-in as to why you're doing the things that you do, or why you're asking them to do the things that you want them to do. And I'm going to go back into a little bit more in depth and give you guys some action steps at the end, but we're just going to work our way through these 5 levels. Okay. Hey, Dale, Ashley, Tiffany, I see you guys. Happy Tuesday. Next one is people development. Okay. And so this is, or sorry, no. Number 3, we're on number 3. So number 3 is production. People follow you because of what you've done. Okay. So it's one thing to just like tell people what to do. It's another thing to build a relationship with people. But then it's another thing, a level 3 leader is somebody who actually produces, somebody who actually, brings in customers, somebody who's actually on the front line doing the work, who's acquiring new business for the company. Okay. And so people follow you because of what you're doing or what you've done for the organization. And so it's very, very important, as leaders, that we don't just talk the talk, that we actually walk the walk and we actually get results. So a level 3 leader is somebody who is producing, somebody who's getting results. Level 4 is the people developer. And I love that all these start with P. So positional, permission, production, people developer. And this is like duplication. So now that you're getting results, people are following you because they're like, oh my gosh, I want what they have. I want to get results like they're getting. And so level 4 leaders, these people are able to duplicate or reproduce what they did in their own line of work for other people so that other people can start winning. And this is when you're a level 4 leader, when your team starts winning with the tools and resources that you give them. And so level 4 leader is people people I didn't write this down. I wrote duplication, but it's people development. Okay, so you're developing people. And so people follow you for what you've helped them do. Okay. And then finally, we get to number 5. Okay. It should be everyone's goal to become a level 5 leader. And this is pinnacle. This is a pinnacle leader. And this is where people follow you for who you are and what you represent. Okay. So not only are you their positional leader, and not only have you built a nice relationship with them and you're getting results, you're helping them get results, but now like you've casted this vision, you've built this organization, you've created this dream that people are like, I just want to go with you. I just want to be with you. I know that if I can be in your vicinity, I'm going to be winning. And that is the pinnacle leader. That's the level 5 that all of us should be striving to get to. Okay. So, I want you guys to just, if you're willing to, drop your number in the comments. So I want you to think about your job that you have right now. Okay. So prior to network marketing, I was a high school math teacher. And so if I think about me being the teacher and having students, automatically day one, kids walk in my classroom, I'm their positional leader. I'm their teacher. They have to do what I tell them to do if they want to get a grade, right? Like I'm their positional leader. And sometimes in school, that's as far as I could get with some students because they didn't like math. They didn't want to come to class. They didn't want to build a relationship with me. They didn't want to do their work. They didn't want to learn, right? And so here I am just like telling them what they have to do. And it's just like butting heads the whole entire year, right? And so what I needed to do as a teacher is to move beyond that positional leader. And I needed to become a permission leader where I got to know the kids, where I would go to their sporting events, where, we'd spend time before school or after school and work on, the things that they needed to. I would recognize or reward the ones who were doing well, and the ones who were maybe acting up, maybe we sat aside and handled that conversation privately as to not embarrass them or hurt their feelings or anything like that, right? And then here I am, the math teacher at the head of the classroom. And, I have the answer key. I know how to do all the math. And so I'm over here doing it. I'm over here getting results. I'm over here getting the right answer. Right. And some students are. So then I'm moving up into that people development. And then some students aren't. And so what do I need to do? I need to create something new. I need to be able to duplicate it. And I need to be able to share it in a different way. So that way, these other students can have success, right? And then the pinnacle level of me being a math teacher is when I would teach something and it would duplicate to another student, and then I would see that other student be able to do that, or I see another student creating relationships with somebody else, or another student who is teaching somebody else how to do it in a way that works for them, or they're just like regurgitating what I gave, but maybe they have a different relationship with that student than I had. And so just really, really cool when you recognize these levels of leadership, how they work in your life. So I want to know for you guys right now, in your line of work, what level would you say that you are at? Would you say that you are you're the boss? People follow you because they have to. Would you say that people follow you because of the relationship you've built with them? Would you say that people follow you because of the results that you're getting, the results that you're helping them get, or because the vision that you've casted? So even if you're watching the replay, drop your number below. Do you believe right now in your line of work that you are level 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 leader? Okay, so while you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to tell you the rules. Okay, the rules. You can't break these rules. Okay. Rule number 1, you can move up a level, but you can never leave it behind. Okay. So you can't, so with each person, you can move up to people producer, but you can't ever leave behind the relationship. Okay. You've always got to make sure that as you're moving up these ranks, that you still keep, you are the boss, you're the position, you are a person that has a relationship and care about the person, and you are still getting results. You're not just sitting back, soaking in all the rewards without still doing the work. And so you can always move up a level, but you're never going to leave it behind. Rule number 2 is that you're going to be at different levels with every person and at different times. Okay. And so you can't just be like, I'm a level 3 leader. Someone comes into your organization and you're like, okay, well, I'm a producer. Well, you have to build it up with each person. You have to start out as positional, then you have to go and build those relationships. And so you, like, wherever you think you are right now, just know that whenever anybody comes into your space, you always start at number 1. The higher you go up, the more time it's going to take you to win at that level. Okay. So super easy to be a positional leader. I did it first. I'm here first. I put in the work first. I'm here. Right. And then to build a relationship. For some people, you can build a relationship with someone in a day. Other people, it may take a couple days, a couple weeks. For some people, it may take a couple of months. Right. And then for you to prove your production, your consistency with your production, that's going to take even more time. And so just know that the higher you move up, the more time it's going to take for you to win at that level. However, the higher you go up, the greater the return. Okay. Like positional leaders, they have a lot of turnover. People are in and out, right? And then as you build that relationship, some people stay with you because they like you, because they support you, because they want to be with you, right? And then as you start getting results, you're showing people that it can be done. And so more people, they start to build that belief bone in them. And then, as you're helping them be able to get results and helping them win, then they're going to want to be with you even more. And then boom, no longer are you just adding to your organization. Now all of a sudden your organization is multiplying because multiple people are doing it. So the higher you go, the higher the return. Now, 2 more rules. Moving up goes slow, like I said, but moving down can happen so fast. Okay, so as a leader, it's important that you're personally growing and that you think before you act and before you say things to people, because you can lose people's trust. Things can fall down so fast. And so just keep that in mind, that things are going to move slowly as you're going up, but it can fall very, very quickly if you're not careful. And in order to go up, you have to have personal growth. Okay, what does that mean? You've got to be reading the books. You've got to be listening to the audibles, the podcasts, doing your research, staying current with the times, knowing what's working. You have to be willing to fail. So that way you can, let your team know what's working and what's not working. And so you have to do the personal growth in order to move up in these different levels of leadership. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some action steps real quick. Hey, Josette and Mima. Hello. Okay, so action steps. The first thing, so as a positional leader, the first thing that you should do right now today is to define your values and develop your leadership practices. So you are the type of person that does this. This is what you expect from your quote unquote employees, from your students, from your downline, right? And develop those leadership practices. So when someone joins your organization, what do they get? What's to be expected of them? What's the process? I need to get a tissue. Just 1 second. Oh my goodness. I don't have a cold. It's just my allergies, but you guys do not want to see that. Okay. So define your values, develop your leadership practices. So think to yourself, somebody new joins my organization. How do they view me? What tools and resources do they have available? What are our first steps as far as moving through the either training process or starting process, launch process, whatever it is. Okay. Number 2, so this goes along with the permission, developing relationships. You need to connect with yourself before connecting with others. Okay. And so when I first saw that, I was like, that's kind of weird. And then I wanted to read this to you. a little bit as far as connecting with yourself before connecting with others. And so what does that mean? In the book, he talks about self-awareness, know your personality type, your temperament, your talents, your strengths and weaknesses. And this is really important because I'm a red-green personality, so I like to win. I'm very competitive, I'm very organized. And so like me recognizing that, and then if I'm working with someone who is yellow or blue, who just like flies by the seat of their pants or is just you know, not into that kind of stuff, or they want everybody to win, I need to be self-aware when I'm talking to those people, so then that way I'm not just turning them off or making them feel like they're not good enough, because that's happened before to me, just because I do have that dominant personality. And so self-awareness is super important when developing relationships with other people. Okay, your self-image, deal with any personal issues you may have so that you can think of yourself in a positive way. Okay, this is really important. Like even me doing this live right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have boogers coming out of my nose, right? Like I gotta handle myself so that way I can be confident. That way, I am not like feeling like I'm not good enough as I'm trying to build a relationship with somebody else, because our insecurities are definitely going to come out in that way if we haven't dealt with it before. So deal with any personal issues you have and make sure you're thinking of yourself in a positive way. I think that's huge. Okay, self honesty. Look at yourself realistically and decide to face reality, no matter how much it may hurt. And so just be honest with yourself about where you are and, like it said before, your strengths and your weaknesses and what you're willing to do to improve, and face reality on that. And then the last one is self improvement. Make a commitment to grow in your ability to develop relationships. Now, relationships were always hard for me because I just don't know what to say to people. I would rather listen rather than talk. And so, some of the things that I do when I know I'm going to be in a room with a bunch of people, or where like I'm going to have to build a relationship, is I literally will Google talking points and I'll screenshot it. And so that way I have it on my phone and I can be like, okay, like these are some questions that I can ask, that doesn't revolve around the weather or, kids all of the time, but like I could actually like ask them some good questions. And then the other thing too that I do sometimes is I'll actually go to their social media pages and I'll try and learn as much as I can about them. Like, what are their kids' names? What are some things that they enjoy doing? And, what have they been doing recently? So that way I can talk to them about those kinds of things. And so if you're like me, where you're just like, ooh, sometimes talking to people is outside your comfort zone, you can definitely do that. And that can help set you up for success. Okay. So number two, an action step to get better at the permission level is, like I said, to connect with yourself before connecting with others. And then just care for others, like genuinely care for them and demonstrate the golden rule. Like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then you know that you're always good. Okay, number three. So if you feel like you are at the level 2 level and you're ready to move on to level 3, which is production, what can you do? You got to add to your bottom line. Okay. Nobody wants to follow a leader that isn't getting results. Nobody wants to follow what somebody tells them to do, no matter how much they like them, if they don't have proof that it works. Okay. So I always say it takes what it takes. No excuses. Lead by example. Like you have got to add to your bottom line. And if you're not adding to your bottom line, then you need to take a step back from feeling like you need to lead people, and you need to start leading yourself. You need to do more research on what's working. You need to expand your network. You need to get a little bit creative, thinking outside the box, and make sure that you're adding to your bottom line. Okay. So that's where you are if you need to become that production leader. Okay. Number 4, the people development is you need to be good enough at your work that you can follow the 80-20 rule, where it only takes you 20% of your time to complete what you need to do. So that way 80% of the time you can pour into your team and coaching and helping them and handholding and walking them through whatever you need to do. And so you've got to be a good soldier before you can be a good leader. You've got to be a good producer yourself before you can be a good duplicator for others. And so if you're working on becoming that level 4 leader, is be good enough at the tasks to apply the 80-20 rule, and then allow others to start stepping up and allow others to start taking some things over for you. So that way, you do have more time to do the things that you need to. And that way you can help coach them. You're linking arms with them. You're telling them what they need to do, right? But allow them to do it and allow them to start becoming that level 2, level 3, level 4 leader that is taking on more responsibility. And ultimately that's going to get you to level 5. So you what I wrote is, if you're a level 4 leader and you're ready to move into that level 5, is make room for others at the top. If people feel like they can't make it to the top, then they're not going to get to the top with you. And so make room for others at the top and create a list of characteristics that you want to see in your future leaders and set that expectation. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, then people aren't going to rise the expectation. And so one thing that somebody told me, which I thought was just like really great advice, is to make a list of all of the characteristics that I want to have in a leader. Now, are they going to have all of them? Probably not. But it's my job to make sure that I'm embodying all of them or most of them, right? Like I'm leading by example and showing people what that looks like, that there's room for them at the top. But these are the things that they need to encompass and have, if characteristics, if they want to get there. And so a couple of the ideas that he listed in here. Oh, geez, this is so embarrassing. My allergies. Okay, hold on. Oh, gosh. All right, so I'm on page 143, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Integrity, problem solving, vision, communication, influence, creativity, passion, teamwork, servanthood, attitude, confidence, self-discipline. And so those were just some of the things that he put on his list as far as the things that he was dedicating himself to develop and what he wanted his inner circle leaders to have as well. And so if you haven't done this before, this is a really great activity, is just to make a list of, leadership characteristics that you want people to have in your organization, on your team, in your classroom, at your restaurant, whatever it is. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I wanted to keep it kind of short, but we're already going on 20 minutes. But like I said, these 5 levels of leadership really changed my business. And I kind of got away from them for a little while, just, thinking that I was good. But if you really follow these steps, then you're going to see long-term success in your business, in your life, with your relationships, and we're going to see more people winning your life, and people are going to want to be coming with you there. So I'm excited to see who takes these on. Thank you for being here with me. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and comment them below. If you have any ideas or any opinions or extra things you'd add in, make sure that you drop it in the comments. We can have a conversation just back and forth that way. So thanks you guys for tuning in. Bye.